All right, so we lost some footage due to recording. It hasn't been that long, honestly. Sorry, I muted myself. That's why it was lost. I mean, it isn't lost. I just haven't said anything, so I didn't think it was interesting. Um, I'm gonna die in a year. I have cancer. The doctor failed to, fix it up. Death comes for me. I might be a eunuch as well. I thought I saw the eunuch tag pop up, but I don't see it here. All sorts of crazy stuff has happened to this character throughout his life. And he's one-eyed now. I mean, just wild, wild. I was going to say if I outlived a third wife, I was going to make the 8. No real shot at that happening right now. Literally impossible given that I have 1 year of life left. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long road. It's been a hard road, men. We're making friends with a bunch of Targaryens. We're making friends with a bunch of people. I think one of the bigger shocks that happened is that my son and heir, Kendrin, decided that he didn't want to marry that associate girl with good stats. So I'm doing the backup plan. All right, this is the backup plan. I didn't want to do this, but here we are. The backup plan is this guy doesn't have any daughters that I can marry. They're all already married. All right, but his heir does have a daughter we can marry, Moria Tully. All right. Why is this relevant? Well, Crusader King's 3 players, you know. This guy, Hugo Tully, is gonna become the Lord Paramount. His daughter, Moria, will get claims. A pressed claim? Unpressed claim? Unpressed claim. It's the better claim one. The one that passes down. Anyway, so the kiddos are gonna get the claims when he dies. Then her children will get an unpressed claim when she dies. So here's the chain of events. Kendron lives a long, long time. He has an heir with Moira. Moira gets her dad's claims to the Riverlands. She passes down a lesser version of that claim to Kendron and Moria's children. Therefore, the character I play after I play Kendron will have a claim to the Riverlands, and thus we can go to war with our liege in order to claim their throne. Bing, bang, boom. We've locked it in. It'll take 2 generations or more, but House Justman will rise once again. Now, is Bernard as good as Benedict Justman? No, Benedict Justman rode up and down the Riverlands and united all of them through military force, and then was king of those lands for like 6 generations. Bernard, not as good as the legendary and mythical head, but he's pretty good. I just want to say we got to have mad respect for a dude whose only real benefits were being born as a noble and then also just like being really good at using his dick. It got him into trouble. It got him out of trouble. It got him a bunch of kids, alliances. We're still working this thing out with the Targaryens, but we've kind of balanced things now. And I expect that after death, it'll get a little bit easier since there won't be all that adulterer beef still rolling around. My man has a lot of friends at court. It's rough. It's rough. So the last thing I think he wants to accomplish is to buy a ship. All right, we're gonna buy the expensive flagship. We need $3,000. So Bernard's final gift to his entire dynasty is to buy a really big ship so that we can use the sailing mechanics that were introduced in this patch 0.4.37. That's right. Now, by the time this videos come out, it's almost certainly going to be 0.4.39. 2 patches later, maybe even 3. Irreconcilable differences. Unfortunate. Alright, what if I become friends with my son's new wife? Well, she's not old enough yet, huh? That would... Did I mention that I took squires of knight tutelage all throughout the Iron Throne lands? Like, I painstakingly went to basically every single duchy, and then many of the bigger, not duchies, counties, and got families you'd know of to get insquired. Yeah, we're squiring everybody. Now, that doesn't help us as much, except for the fact we have a huge number of armed characters hanging out in our courts. But it does help all the Aarons and the Florents that make up our knighthood, Targaryens. All those people are getting friendships and closer house relationships. So, anyway, let's buy that ship. Kendron is just old enough to make this stuff happen. Nice. And he's a full-on knight, too. Nice. Disaster for House Nymerios Martell. King Tantin of House Hightower stands as the new ruler of the Kingdom of Dorne. Wow, that's crazy. How did that happen? Also, shouldn't the Hightowers be ruling Old Town? What's going on over here? They do rule Old Town. But Dorne is still independent? I guess the person who leads the Hightowers is not the one who became the king. All right, I'm following that so far. So this guy inherited it from his mom, who was a Nymerios Martell. This seems like it has to be a bug. Why wouldn't she have been matrilineally married? How did she become the ruler in this way? The game is literally screaming at me that I'm not allowed to do this and constantly breaks off marriage pacts with me. Oh yeah, I have some words. Baela Targaryen. Be brave. I'm going, girl. Be brave. It's time to buy that boat. I bought a boat. It's going fast, and I've got a nautical theme catching the Afghan. Pashmina Afghan. As I begin my daily... Oh, it's the maidens event. Sure. My daughter should attend, of course. So now I can go sailing, right? That's a thing. My health is too poor, but my family should have gotten a sailing boat modifier, large flagship with prestige bonus. And that means everybody in the house also gets that bonus, I believe. Fantastic. Rena died, and then I died literally days later. I'm telling you, that was my apprentice. We never had a carnal relationship, but her mastery of intrigue and playing the game was at the same level as Bernard. She was a worthy apprentice and a worthy colleague. All right, so we're playing as Kendron. Lord Bernard of Blackwood Vale has finally found peace at 85 years of age, known in life as the Bloodfather. He died of cancer. Known for his twisted, conniving mind, he never revealed his true intentions to anybody, not even his closest friends. Lord Kendron ascends to the throne. Beautiful beyond words, his appearance will have foreign dignitaries growling at his feet. I think I might have been groveling. I might have just said the wrong words. Great. Lord Lawrence has become your new liege due to being granted new titles. This is unbelievable. Why do they keep making me under the Brackens? What is happening? We want freedom. We want freedom. All right. We're doing a little around the realm check. Royce Blackwood has inherited this castle, and we are going to marry... I guess we're not going to marry him off to one of my... Well, I want him to get married as soon as possible and have more Blackwood kids. We want to make sure that this is technically our half-brother. He's our bastard brother. He's doing well. He's got kids. Kids are alive. Kids seem like they're doing well. Got another Blackwood. They're chilling, having kids. Unfortunately, no male children. But what if we arrange somehow? Yeah, what if we do it this way? No? You hate this? Oh, because there's no alliance. Hey, listen, Blackwoods, I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys a lot. I've kept your house alive through a lot of things. I need to be so clear that I don't think it's possible for you to survive as a sort of top tier house, because the Justmans are over you. You're not playing the Game of Thrones at the kind of level you maybe once did. My sister died of a heart attack. Wow, Rena went, Dad, and then Alicane all in the course of like a week. Youch. That's rough. I think that also means we're going to lose the tie. Yeah, I literally don't have any... I don't have any alliances. Even if we wanted to break free of the Brackens, we actually can't. In that sort of crazy way. I think we need a feast to cement our current status. Let's take a look at how the subjects feel. Oh, they actually like us quite a bit. Is this holdover from Dad? No, it's because I'm actually just. And I have high personal diplomacy. What are my stat lines like? I actually didn't check. Pretty good stewardship. Extremely not great learning, which is crazy because he's a learning-based character. But this is a good stat line. It's weird because his dad was so good at intriguing it. He's not. He's a medium knight. He's passable. Not bad. Not bad stats. We need to build on these, though. We need to build on these stats. Talk about that feast. It wouldn't be a bad idea to have the feast just to provide the feast buff to the local area, because you get that buff that makes Lord Portifer, and then and what about the king? Hold on, let's see if the king's available, because otherwise you should have been invited, right? And he's not available. We're gonna wait for him to come back. So you want me to dismiss my master at arms? Why? Placate vassals. How bad is disgruntled vassals? -10? We're gonna hold the feast and we'll counter that situation. Bro's crazy, bro. Come home, king. Come home. Come to my feast. Moria Tully and I are now married. Yes, good, good. We're going to seduce the woman, and then I shall raise this Targaryen girl. Well, no, hold on. I absolutely want to leave space. Yeah, I'll raise the Targaryen, but not the Florent girl. My wife will raise the Florent girl for now, Let's make sure that we've got tutors, we've got wet nurse. Excellent, excellent. We can pick ladies in waiting again, because we actually have a lady in waiting. Septa de Rissa. That's my half-sister. When did I get a Martell up in this business? That's crazy. My wife is... This dude's lusting after his own niece? That's Targaryen behavior, brother. Get out of here with that stuff. No, no. No, 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 no. Get out of here with that stuff. What's her relation to me? Emma, my niece? I don't know. I lost it all. Let's concentrate on our own life, all right? We need her to escape the situation we're at and to re-achieve the dominance we once had pre-Aegon's conquest. So, my wife is just, zealous, humble, and gluttonous. I think that she is pious because she has 2 traits that are good for our religion, Faith of the Seven, and also is zealous. Tons of marriages. King's back home, right? It's feast time, baby. Honorary guest, a king. Nope. I'll take the King of Dorne, though. That's pretty sick. I got that cross-border swag, all right? The king became our friend. And we get one more friendship in here with maybe the Vale. Lord Kendron, my niece Alla calls my name. My dear sister Meredith speaks fondly of you. I have been looking forward to feasting with you. We're going to toast to Alla Tyrell, my niece. Sure, we'll become friends, but I have only fond words for her. I can't apologize. Okay, I'm having a rough time of things. Okay, so this is one of those new events. Sir Dunson of Forthane approaches me carrying a letter. He wishes to inform me of a recent tragedy at sea. A ship has met an untimely end off the coast of the Paps, with very few survivors. It is a terrible tragedy. I can't help but think of those whose lives were lost, and of the families left grieving in their wake. Sir Dunson of Forthane continues reading from the letter, explaining that a great fortune was lost aboard the doomed ship, now scattered across the ocean floor. Perhaps even the famed sapphire seas of Tarth will find competition in beauty now. Perhaps, huh? Sorrowful news indeed, my friend. But can I do that cool thing where I take a sailing voyage to go pick it up? Probably not, because I need a diving bell, and I have to buy a diving bell. Large flagship with diving bell. Need 3,000 bucks. I think that's a worthy save. We'll save for that. We want to. We do want to do some maritime hunts though, because we need to get the sailor trait. So we may sail now if possible, and then save up. The other thing is we're taking a big hit here because of the domain thing. I don't know what the difference was where my dad didn't have... He had 5 property. I don't know why I'm getting so many fewer. Alright, we've seduced our wife. Now we shall romance with her. I'm going to write her a love song, like she asked for. Walton Justman. That's a terrible name. You shall be named Benedict, after the first Justman. And I shall raise you, Benedict. And can we lock in a marriage with anyone of really, really strong... There's some pretty strong marriage options here, honestly. Alliance-wise, you know, alliance-wise. Inbred? How is... How are they related? Oh, my nephew? So my grandnephew of my original character is this kid's grandparent. Wild. Wild. The church does not approve of this degree of consanguinity. Consanguinity? Not sure. This would be a powerful ally. I'm afraid that they might call on me from time to time, though. Oh, free hunt? Is that a free hunt? Did I just get the free hunt modifier? I'll take a free hunt. I don't hate this. Okay. Visiting the Hoar Castle here. Hoar Castle is very important because the Hoars are the ones who killed the Justmans and then ended up ruling for a time beyond measure. And then on the trip back, we're going to make a bunch more detours as well. Perhaps not. Perhaps not on this trip. But we can hit Casterly Rock on the way back. The king won't come? Unfortunate. Unfortunate. We would love for the king to come. He's in poor health. What about the prince? Will the prince come? No. I will train Magon Targaryen, future king. I will personally train the boy myself. And it'll be sick. It'll be so sick. Oh, this is that Boar's kid that I stole. His dad's grandfather fought me and was real scary. And then I stole his dad's lands when he was a criminal. And now he's getting married to my niece. Wow, he's having a tough time in life. I feel kind of bad about that. If I recall, his lands were worth absolutely nothing of value. And so he went from a position of privilege to... What kind of tax he's pulling in? Oh, that's a solid tax. He's done well. He's done well for himself. For a kid who started with 0.1 golds, a 6.8 tax is pretty damn good. All right? You have to respect this kid and probably his steward who was actually running things. So I can shoot it. I can bring it down just me. Spears at the ready. I'll shoot it. I got this. Easy, easy. I'll give this to my niece Meredith. We've been talking about her a lot. She keeps popping up. I think the game kind of wants us to focus on that. Ah, I got the Traveler trait. That's something my dad didn't have. Oh, the cost is a lot easier when I have my own ship. All right, that makes sense. That explains why I needed to pay such an enormous amount of money for it. Who will we invite? We'll invite friends. Not that there's that many. Close family, extended family, liege, vassals, court guests. So the top people on this list. So we're actually going to remove vassals. Let's see if we can just kind of get family in here. Yeah, that's a ton of family members. Valerian Targaryen. Love that guy. Tybert Lannister. Love that guy. This is a pretty solid list right here. And I want to gain sailing experience. That's what I want to do on this trip. It's the whole point of the trip, is to gain sailing experience before we buy that diving bell. Ooh. Tragic news for our house, as sea smoke seems to have flown off after the death of Rhaenyra. Alright, we're not Dragon Riding House anymore. Well, we're not Dragon Rider Owner House anymore. Sea Smoke is now free, riding around Fair Market. That's outside of our territory. Valerian's taking up his mom's position. Balon Justman holding it down as the commander of the Blackwood Vale. Alright. Aegon is still freaking out. He's always had 2 stress levels. That is true. I do need to start training my squire at some point. When we're done with the sailing voyage crap, it's time to buckle down and train my squire. That's the Targaryen prince. The ship is being loaded with supplies. I take the time to wander the local markets. Many merchants shout, attempting to advertise their wares to me. There are truly exotic things here, foods I've never tasted, and books in tongues I cannot comprehend. There's also a solid selection of alcohol. I know the crew would most definitely appreciate it if I came back with that. Does anything here strike my fancy? The book gives me a small amount of stuff. The booze gives me a chance to be drunkard. Oranges gives me citrus supply for a health boost. Love that. Or treasure map. 5% chance you gain a treasure map, mostly against her. We're going to pick oranges. Before setting sail, I must choose my first mate, the one who will stand beside me on the open sea and share in the burden of command. Among those gathered here today are family, friends, and seasoned sailors alike. Some possess clear nautical skill, while others are out here out of loyalty, favor, of ambition. Each could serve in their own way once we are beyond the safety of the port. Does anyone here even have the sailing skill? It says that someone does. I don't think that's true. These are all people who've never sailed before. We want people to get sailing experience for sure. Why is her name browned out? Oh, because it's the one that it automatically chose for me. Anyone here a sailor? Anyone at all? I don't think so. Let's go to the top. Let's go with Prince Valerian Targaryen. We're gonna ride or die, bro. I'm raising this kid, right? That's the kid I'm relationship facing. That's my first mate right there, Valerian. We're gonna learn to sail together. It is night when I emerge from my cabin. The deck is unusually quiet. I can see one of my crew sitting quietly. Well, whoever wrote this used the word quiet in 2 different sentences. Hey, it's Caroline Morris. We remember her. She was the one who didn't want to get married and then refused to marry the red wine kid. And then it turned out that actually the whole time she was seeing some third guy. And then just he offered to elope with her. And I said, fine, whatever, go get married. She's a problem. All right, let's see what she has to say. A quiet night, isn't it? She turns to me, startled. Captain, apologies, I wasn't paying attention. Before I came out here, I'd never truly taken time to appreciate the stars, you know? I nod in agreement, gazing up at the pinpricks of light far above. Let me tell you something about the stars. You can navigate by them. I get sailor and she gets sailor, small percent. We're going to try that. Let's go for it. I don't think it worked. Did I gain the sailor trait? No. Someone died. Nope. Aenese has claimed Caraxes, the bloodworm. Master Benfrey has... Oh, someone did die. It was my spy master. Ah, keeping the Blackwoods alive and free of Bracken hands is once again come in handy. Keep your wits about you, men. We're chasing after the sea creature. Well at starboard, Captain. Just then, a massive eruption of water is blown into the air and the whale's large form bursts through the waves. It's a fully grown sperm whale. Do we go for it? It shall be worth a fortune. Aye. I stand on the deck, harpoon in hand. The crew watches me in anticipation as I take aim at the mighty black sperm whale splashing through the water surface near the ship. Steady now. 50-50. Let's do it. You slay the sperm whale, dragging your prize on board your ship. You set course to return to port. Huge pile of money, big pile of prestige. I got the sailor trait. My glory is widely known. This is a great sailing voyage. Sailor trait. Ah, you can get it to more than one level. Yes, yes. Okay, let's see here. Embarkation cost lowered. Sea and coast danger is lowered. So that'll make traveling easier. And maybe I won't have to buy ship captains all the time. Love that. My long voyage comes to an end as my ship pulls back into port. A sense of accomplishment washes over me, and I know my skills of a sailor has grown sharper through the journey. Though part of me longs to remain at sea, I must now return to the business of ruling my realm, and yet my heart yearns for the sea once more. Did my boy Valerian also get... Is this the correct Valerian? I think it's the other Valerian Targaryen. It's this Valerian Targaryen. Did he get sailor? Yes. A worthy first mate. Absolutely. I romanced my wife. She's my soulmate. Perfection. Benedict Justman, my nephew, is my friend. Great. Ooh. Let's train this knight. Train that knight. Oh, wow. A lot of errand kids all at once. Oh, those crazy errands. We could use a few more alliances to stand up to the Brackens and break free again from them. I think that breaking free from them will give us a higher domain limit. I'm not totally sure, but also we don't want a Bracken over us anyway. Remember when that Bracken murdered a guy at our feast? Didn't he try to murder a freaking Targaryen at our feast right in front of us? Uncouth behavior. Ooh, I don't want to be... First off, getting this claim would mean fighting Dorne. That's crazy, dude. Absolutely not. No. I appreciate it, though, Mr. Pope. I guess these two kids never had kids themselves. So even if I make Gerald... If I insert him as the Lord Paramount of the Westerlands, I guess it would go to his siblings, starting with his oldest brother. Can we somehow make that work? It would go to Tywell Lannister, eventually. we would need to make Tywell married to someone in my house. This is too complicated to be worried about, honestly. The opportunities passed, I guess, is the real. Another lady, Princess Sarah, has claimed another dragon. Very, very popular. Still have a septa. You gotta keep those septas in the family, honestly. My daughter... We'll name her Melantha after my wife's mother. We'll hand her over to the septa. Of course. That makes perfect sense. My house has a royal marriage. Does it? Maybe in the distant past. Does it now? I don't think that's true. Oh, it's here. It's Karani Mott. Is that being counted as mine? Well... I'm training this kid, and I'm a logic and books guy, so let's lock that in. King Maegor is dead, bringing us King Viserys and his heir, Maegor Targaryen, who is being trained by me in knighthood. When I remember to do those things. Alliance expired from who? Melantha and Aelwyn are no longer married. That's my daughter. What happened? Okay, fine. We'll marry the Aarons. Insist. He's dead. Oh, you sent him to the wall and for some reason that hurt my reputation with you? That's crazy, dude. Yeah, neither of my allies are at war. We're beginning the Independence War. We're then going to ask the king for the pardon. Thanks, cool. Old man Vagon Targaryen still really upset. He just wants to beef with our lion pretty badly. It's always been that way with Vagon Targaryen. We probably want to slow this timer down. There's that Aaron forces showing up. We are Riverlanders, yeah. Wow, those winged knights really making a huge difference here. Absolutely obliterating enemy forces. Go bait Stonehenge. The Dornish are coming. No, the Dornish are here. I forgot that they're not led by the Martells, they're led by the High Towers. Another overwhelming victory at Mudgrave. The Old Town War for Warren Wills. Join such a war. We just need a hot second to wrap up our problems here, and then we will join you on your war footing. That was the last victory we needed. We did not, in fact, get a higher domain limit. I don't know what let Justman have such a high domain limit. But we need that higher domain limit for sure. All right, let's ransom these prisoners home. Oh, you know what? What if we just sent a bunch of people to the wall? Would that be crazy? Anyone can be sent to the wall, will be sent to the wall. No, maybe that's only for like cases of rebellion. I'm not seeing a lot of options here. Well, this guy's coming to us. This Hote, you're joining us, brother. Aemon Bracken's joining us. We'll figure out what to do with him in a second. He's married. He doesn't have any lordships. Well, he comes to our court. Alright, we're selling to Old Town to help our allies. They helped us get free. We're the Admiral of the Riverlands. You know what that means, boys. I don't know. I don't know what it means, but I'm glad to have it. I'm not getting a lot of gold. Something is absolutely tamped down on the amount of gold we're bringing in. No, I was just banging my wife. No big deal. And it's great. We lose a lot of stress. We've had some pretty big contributions to this war, is what I'll say. Yeah, taking castles is not our thing. Not really a castle taking people. It's a huge battle. I don't think we're going to make it in time. I do think we probably are the tipping point. If we can make it there, we can absolutely change the nature of the battle. Oh yeah, things really swung against them once we showed up. My grandfather, Prince Narrated, was slain. Unfortunate. No, where's the other army? Where are you going? Why are you fighting them? I'm fighting the main army. Alright, we're taking our men and going home. You were given every opportunity to run this war like not an idiot. A lot of people dying all at once. war's hard on all of us. But especially me, personally. Oh, now you want to show up and fight, huh? If I jump these guys, will you come? So you guys are good, right? Yeah, you're good. The war is over. We definitely did our part. For some reason, I can found a new kingdom. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna save before I try to do that. Kendron Kingdom found, because I don't want to be independent of the Iron Throne, but I wouldn't mind being independent of the Tulis. I have done what no one else could. I have united the lands of the Blackwood Vale with those of Fair Isle and Crakehall. All my life I've worked for this, to call my vassals and make them swear fealty anew. Now and forever they will pay homage to me, not only as their liege, but as a lord. I am a mighty lord. And who do I pay homage to? Oh, we've formed an entirely new superstructure where we're no longer under the Blackwoods of the Tynes. I don't hate this. I don't hate it. Hey, and I got a little bit extra juice here for my domain holdings. As long as the Tullys aren't mad and the Targaryens aren't mad, that's all reasonable. Lot of Tullys need to get turned into knights. Let's do that real quick. Oh, I have a royal court. Oh, shit. Love that. Love that. So let's do some expensing. The Justman banner. Let's put the Justman banner up. Then we need to change the court grandeur level. We will stay diplomatic. Man, I'd like to have a court that speaks Valyrian, honestly, instead of Bastard Valyrian. But there's no way to change it to just Valyrian, huh? Not without something like Legacy of Valyria. Alright, that's fine. How much? I think maybe we could expense 10 or more bucks. So cheap to maintain a high-level court. Let's do it. I think we can afford that. Court visuals, painted court. Dragonstone Keep. Lokiria. No, I don't think so. Lyria. Wow, that looks great. We're looking for something a little less extra. Bravos Throne Room. This is a variation of the Eastern Roman Empire, right? Casterly Rock, the Hall of Heaven. Dragon's Mandate. No. Dragonstone, High Garden. I'm looking for something that represents the Riverlands. Have they no wooden throne rooms that seem kind of cozy? A lot of these are way too high for me. Fury, Tyrosh. Winterfell under the Boltons. Now that's... I think we'll go with the classic Ashlar. I think we'll go classic. Maybe we'll swap it up if we become a grander people, but Yeah. Damn, not bad. Not bad at all. I don't hate it. I don't hate being independent, truly. The great lands of your ancestors is now under your rule. Yes, precisely. I have 2 different titles called the High Lordship of the Blackwood Vale. Very strange. I guess feudal paramountcies are now counted as, what, empires? And then the 7 kingdoms is a hegemony? That's got to be new since they added hegemonies, which has... I haven't played since then. Too many held duchies. That is an issue. That is an issue, and it's going to cost me money, huh? It's going to cost me big money. I'm going to have to raise somebody over here to be my hegemonic. Wifton. You won't accept the blood of my blood into your line? Let's play a game of who's the most loyal over here. Yeah, it's gonna be the Farmans. Shall grant you a title, Farmans, the high lordship of those isles. Serve my people for a time. No, I want her to stay in my court, this Targaryen girl. We're not going to risk her getting sent anywhere. The faith will give me high lordship of Casterly Rock? But only the duchy title for it. I don't know about that. Listen, we've strained roleplay credulity, but stealing Casterly Rock from the Lannisters, but they're still Lord Paramounts and they'll be ruling from somewhere else? That's crazy. Nah. That's way out of pocket. All right. We're going to pay homage to our River Lord. But first, we're going to take a nice little Riverlands, Stormlands, Crownlands sort of trip. Oh, you know, we could go to Dragonstone as well. Let's throw that bad boy in there. Right around Duskendale. We'll pop over. Do a little pop over. Going on a trip for a while. Come, Squire. We're gonna knight this kid at Dragonstone. Ready? We're doing it here. We're knighting him in his own home. We're gonna have to remove me as Guardian. And then... Wait, why is my son over there? Why isn't he in my court? Oh my god, he straight up is a ruler over there. Hold on, I messed up. We gotta go back. We gotta go back in time. I didn't realize he was an independent ruler. My bad. Oh no, it was a pretty long time ago. It was a pretty long time ago. Was my last save. All right, here we are. We've made it back in time to paying homage. I guess forward in time. Visited 304 baronies. That's a long trip, brother. They have a nice little feast. I think we'll hold off on that. We're pretty close to being able to afford the diving bell, and maybe we'll consider that to be the end of today's session. Would be buying diving bell. Solid pick. Oh, hold on a second. My mentor, Sir Balin, was murdered. By who? Sir Aemon of Benedict's Hollow? You dynastic kinslaying? Aemon. This is not appropriate behavior. Frankly, I don't know what caused this, but we will sort it out in prison. Okay, do we need to push time forward for a diving bell event? Or do we just have the diving bell? So we need a feast to de-stress, and then another sailing activity. And does it let me do salvage expedition? No, because I need to have knowledge of a shipwreck. Okay, interesting. And I need my admiral to bring me such knowledge. That's fine. I mean, you say you're fine. Let's hold court one time, and then we're going to call it for this session. Okay, we're going to get this guy as a tutor. He's got excellent aptitude. And he will bring us Westerlindsey. No, I don't want to bump my person. I mean, he can be excellent all he wants, and I appreciate that. My family are my court. My court are my family. Why does it keep trying to replace my tutor?